What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, today you are in for one of the biggest treats that I have offered you guys over the last 2 years. Today we have some monster guests joining us today. We do have Joe Downey, Chief Marketing Officer at NiceHash, as well as Marco Tarman, the Mining Manager at NiceHash. Thank you guys both for joining me today. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to be here.
Awesome. So we're gonna jump through a handful of different questions today. Some of them are more building the landscape, getting comfortable, getting to know these guys and NiceHash, and then we're gonna dive in to the nerdy stuff and really get into the weeds, talking about LHR and some of the recent news and changes that have occurred within the space. So let's just jump in. So we'll start with Joe here. Joe, what exactly is your background? When did you join the NiceHash team? And then kind of tell us how you came to move into the role of Chief Marketing Officer.
Sure, yeah. So my background is actually quite different to the crypto scene. A lot of people are from the tech industry or computing backgrounds. I actually started out previously, before I was into crypto, I was working as a consultant for hospitality brand openings and expansions. So we were working with expanding businesses into chains, taking a small business model and growing that into something bigger. And from this, I got into the marketing side, doing more and more branding, more and more consulting on the marketing side. And that led me to doing a bit of web design. From that, it evolved into a bit of web security. I took some certifications actually with IBM. And it was during that period that I got into crypto, started to hear about cryptocurrencies and got really curious into what it was all about. So I was kind of a passive spectator for some time, if you like. And later I got into a bit of investing and speculating and researching a bit more deeper into the projects. And then opportunity came up at early last year, actually, at NiceHash for working on the PR side. So I jumped in and was working on the PR for the company. And from that point on, I got really into the mining. So I'd sort of been observing it from a distance and then jumped in and got really into it. And once you're hooked, you're hooked. There's no going back once you dive into the mining rabbit hole.
Yes, it's that fine line between a hobby and an addiction. Trust me, I totally understand.
Absolutely.
You can't just get into mining a tiny bit. Like, there's no such thing. Which is awesome. So Marco, you probably have one of the legit titles out there. Mining Manager. That's, like, in my world, that's phenomenal. So tell us your background a little bit, how you came to be the mining manager at one of the largest crypto mining software companies in the world. So how did that work out?
Yeah, I started mining in 2012, actually. At the time, my older brother mentioned to me that there are like some machines that can earn you money just by having them at home. And he was talking about Butterfly Labs ASICs, if anyone remembers those.
Yep, the Butterfly ones, yep.
Yeah. So we tried to get a hand on them, but we just couldn't. That was in 2012. I think the first batch was sent in April 2013. And because we couldn't get our hands on it, we started with GPU mining. I was still in high school back then. I think the GPUs I had were 3 AMD HD 7970s. Yeah. I had 3 of those, and I still have like a picture since I got them, and my brother took a picture of me like building the rig. So those are good memories, like figuring everything out. That was like the best time for me when it comes to mining. I still have like Slashpool account where it shows how many Bitcoins I earned with my GPUs.
Is that a little painful? Is that a little painful to see?
Yeah, it is. No? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, most people that came into mining, into crypto at that time, either spend the money in some way, like some people used it on drugs or girls or whatever. I used it on games. So I bought a lot of video games, a lot of decks in Hearthstone. Man. So yeah, so I spent it all there. But yeah. From then on, I was mining Litecoin, WorldCoin, Dogecoin, and soon after Ethereum was launched, and since then I've been mining Ethereum. I started working at NiceHash just after the hack as support.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a support.
About 2017-ish, right around there.
actually on 1st of July, not 1st, 2nd of January of 2018.
Okay.
That was my first day at NiceHash. I was working on support then. That was rough time. There was a lot of death threats to our developers that had their names publicly available. So that was a rough time. After that, I became hardware manager. And recently, I've been promoted to mining manager.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your promotion. That's
Thank you.
So let's reel it back a little bit, more closer to home. So in the current moment, are either you guys mining either at home or at a facility? What does that look like for you guys? I know, you have the crypto mining career. You're in that space, but then also, it's a hobby, is what we say. So, what does that look like right now for you guys? Do you have any hardware, and what is it?
So you can go first if you want.
Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. I mean, from my side, I was a bit late to get into the mining scene. Missed out on all the early steps like Marco was in. But yeah, mining, of course. I have 3 GPUs going, set up on some gaming PCs. So they're always mining, ticking away. Discovering how proof of work actually works was a big eye-opener for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I learn about it, the more you sort of hear about other types like proof of stake, the more I think proof of work really is the only method that really truly creates value, and it's kind of here to stay. So I'll be mining all the way through.
I love it. I love it. And Marco, what about you? You talked about back in the day, your 7000 series. Where are you at today? Are you running any hardware?
Yeah, I have a couple of 3000 series GPUs, but unfortunately I sold most of my GPUs in 2019, just before the bull run. Yep. I had like 570s, 4 gigabytes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I suspected that the profitability is going to drop even further. And I sold like 40 or 50 on them on eBay for $70. And in a year they were worth like $300 or something like that. But right now I have a couple of rigs just running at home. Nothing much. That's where I am now. But in the past, me and my brother had a computer shop. So we actually hosted for other people. That's before I came to NiceHash.
Very smart.
We had one guy with 600 GPUs. I built up the farm. Good
luck with that. Good luck with that heat management.
That was pain in the ass. Seriously, in the summer, figuring everything out. There were rough times. There were like P104, if you know them.
Okay. Yep.
Like 1070 Ti's.
Yep.
And they were Zotac ones. So basically the fans died in a couple of months. Yeah.
Those Zotac fans do not last, which is totally understandable. But once summer came, fans went up to 80 or even 100%. We couldn't keep the room cool enough. That's when it started to go downhill. Welcome to my world. I totally understand. Yeah, the RX 570s, I still have 8 of those actually in a rig mining Ergo right now. They still have value. They work hard, and even older cards like that, which is fantastic. So moving on from there, my viewership demographic ranges from potential miners to beginners that just got into the space to veteran miners that have been in the space for a while. And I don't want to assume that everybody knows what NiceHash is. But most people should know exactly what it is. But it is more than just a website and an application. So Joe, do you want to give us kind of the marketing lingo behind what exactly is NiceHash for the public at a high level?
Sure. So NiceHash is a hash power marketplace. So for a beginner, the easiest way to understand it is that you can connect up your PC or graphics card to the platform, and you're selling your computing power on our marketplace, which the process is all automated, and the buyers then use this mining power for mining their cryptocurrencies. So we provide the software for it. We provide mobile apps for monitoring the rigs, an exchange platform called NiceX, which is 60 different currencies on it, and tons of educational content. The core of the business model is really to bring newcomers into crypto. Mining is a great way to do that, especially if you already have the hardware. For example, if you're a gamer, you have a graphics card.
Yeah.
Then it's a no-brainer to get started into getting some crypto. And for miners who are kind of already familiar with NiceHash a bit and how it works and how mining works, it's important to understand that NiceHash is quite different to a mining pool. It's a very different concept.
Yeah.
So you have the buyers on the one side who are bidding for your hash rate, and this is the ones who are directing this towards their pools for mining what they want to mine. And that's really important to understand because that's what affects the profitability. A lot of people compare the profitability to pools and such, but it entirely depends on what the buyers are mining at that time. That's what determines your profits with NiceHash. So sometimes your profitability will be way higher than mining direct, and sometimes it will be lower. It really depends on all those different factors. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, it definitely sets it apart from your traditional, mining directly to a pool. And here's what your profitability is based off of network difficulty and based off of the current value at that moment. So that's definitely unique. I think that stands a lot to when people look at NiceHash, and load it up and see profitability is X. And then, an hour later it's Y. And it's like, whoa, how did that change so quickly? And it very much could be that. So on the NiceHash application side, a little bit more on the technical side, Marco, I'll throw this your way. More specifically, it has this algorithm switching functionality in order to stay, profitable. Can you kind of explain how that works at a high level?
Yep. I'd like to explain a little bit about buyers first.
Sure, perfect.
Because the buyers are actually the brain behind algorithm switching. Because buyers are thinking for the miners, for the sellers. So they have let's say there's 100 buyers and 1 million of sellers. So only 100 buyers need to think what will be the most profitable to mine, because only they need to buy the hash power and forward it to whatever coin or project they want it to. So it lessens the burden from the miners to a couple of hundred of buyers, for example. And buyers, of course, have bots, are pretty smart people, and they do the thinking for the sellers, for the miners. Yeah.
Yeah.
But regarding the software, it's quite simple actually. So whatever the buyers are paying, the miners are getting paid. Of course, the average is taken. Once a seller connects to NiceHash, he connects to a random order, and then he gets paid based on the average pay rate of that algorithm.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So we basically have two levels of profit switching. One is on one algorithm where buyers are doing the switching between different projects or coins on single algorithm. A great example would be maybe back in the day, once we supported Ethereum Classic, buyers did the profit switching on Degger Hashimoto algorithm. Sometimes they would mine Ethereum, sometimes they would mine Ethereum Classic. So that's the first level of profit switching.
Yeah, got it.
And the second layer is between different algorithms. So you have Degger Hashimoto, Kaupo, what else? Beam, Octopus,
and
all the other algorithms. And the miners, the mining software, NiceHash Miner and NiceHash OS are the ones that are then switching between the algorithms based on the pay rate of these algorithms. So for the past 2 years, Ethereum was the most profitable between all of them. But in the future, I suspect that the profitability will be more close to each other coins. So that's when the NiceHash will come to its full effect.
Yeah, it's going to be huge once we get closer to proof of stake there. And as you said, with Ethereum out of the equation, it definitely puts things at an even keel. So we'll definitely have to see, which is definitely quite unique to say the least. So let's jump in our time machine here, and kind of look at a few things. If we take a look, NiceHash has been around for a while. And the company history goes back several years. Sadly, most notably back in 2017 when the massive global hack occurred. And for those not familiar, there was about $64 million in Bitcoin that got up and disappeared. I'll kind of let you two split this one up as I know there's quite a few layers to it. But what exactly happened? Or thus didn't happen, and then from a technical standpoint, how was this pulled off? I'll kind of throw it to you guys.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I mean, the first thing to understand that's really important to know is that NiceHash was in really early stages when this happened. The company was founded back in 2014. So I mean, 2017 was still in full-on startup mode, and back then we did not have a big team at all. There was no marketing team, no PR team. It was very much just a few guys with the idea. And it got very, very popular very, very quick because of the unique functionality of NiceHash, and the mining scene back then as well was a very different scene to what it is now. And because of that popularity, it became a very big target for hackers. Yeah. And unfortunately, NiceHash was victim of the huge hacking campaign by the Lazarus group, which targeted not only NiceHash, but actually also a lot of banks. And Bangladeshi Bank and other crypto exchanges around the same time or during the same year. And there was a really big campaign going on. A lot of people tend to think like North Korea's, do they even have electricity? It's like, this is one of the things people come up with, but actually it's been like demonstrated again and again that these guys, they really know what they're doing, because this is how they fund their state. This is like some serious guys behind it. And yeah, I mean, from the NiceHash side, obviously this was devastating for the company. And it's, as is crypto, it's unregulated industry. You have all these rumors that circulate, and people jump to conclusions. So maybe they did it themselves, all this kind of stuff. But the reality of it is, it's much more boring than that. It's just we're a victim of a big campaign, and unfortunately, it's kind of spiraled into all these different stories.
So from a technical side, more how did it kind of go unchecked or unseen from under you guys?
Yeah, so the infrastructure back then was obviously very different to what it is now. I mean, after that, we completely changed the whole functionality of the behind the scenes of the company. So the infrastructure was quite simple, and essentially it was a spear phishing attack. So it was a malicious link. This is how it happened. And after that, of course, everything changed. I mean, when you have something like this happen, you can't have it happen again.
Yeah.
So everything was restructured. The whole company was ripped apart basically and put back together from zero. Everything segregated, compartmentalized. It's completely different machine to what it was back then.
I'd just like to add that we really put security at first place now. First security, then every feature, everything that we want to add goes through security check first. So we really put security on the first place right now. And I think there haven't been many companies that did the full reimbursement of the funds. So that's I think one of the best thing that we did actually.
I know that came out sometime later, which was awesome to see, kind of how you guys made it right. Was addressing that, which is huge, especially in the crypto space with it being so young.
Yeah, I mean, the thanks goes to our CEO. He pushed it through. Of course, obviously, there must have been like a bankruptcy option on the table. That would be the easiest way out, But I imagine a lot of nerves were used to get this thing right. And the interesting part is that people probably don't know we actually paid 122% back because we had we had to pay tax over it. So Slovenian government didn't give us like tax refund or however is it called, but we had to pay taxes over it.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Even from articles that I caught up on before we jumped into this, I didn't realize that. I just saw the, all right, 64 million and done type of deal versus actually 122%, which is true. And then you look at it too, it's like Bitcoin pricing isn't finite. So by the time it happens to the time that actually payback occurs, price change. I mean, we absolutely understand how that works within the crypto space. So kudos to you guys and your team.
Yeah. We were in April. We were in Bitcoin Miami in the conference. Yeah, there were guys like telling, I got goosebumps. They didn't know that we returned like 4,700 Bitcoins. People are really impressed. Yeah. So those are a huge number. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So let's jump ahead. So we talked about the past. So let's kind of jump now to the present or close to the present. So early May of this year, so a month ago, as of pretty much right now, NiceHash dropped some of the biggest news in the last 2 years within my time within the crypto mining space. And as I like to word it to people, NiceHash plays the hero we didn't know we needed and slays the NVIDIA Goliath LHR. So help me and also the audience here that's going to be listening in. How'd you guys do it? How long had your team been working on this? Kind of give us the rundown, because it was very much kept in lock and key. There wasn't rumors going around, nothing. So kind of give us the rundown. How'd you guys do it?
It's some kind of magic.
That's on your website. I saw that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't go into details. I don't even know them. I'm not a developer.
Okay.
But we can disclose that much.
Okay.
We have one really great developer who managed to pull it off himself. Okay. He was basically doing it from the first partial LHR release.
Oh, so some time ago then, yeah.
Yeah, he started.
It's a long time coming, yeah.
Yeah, but as we saw, like leaking some information from our side about the teasing, it was a good thing that we didn't do, because probably other miners had it in their sleeves also, but we managed to do it first. And luckily, we did it first because we got a lot of media attention. Otherwise, I mean, we did get we were the first, but it didn't last long enough to get such huge, like bigger amount of miners.
It was definitely a few days though. It wasn't
I think it was 1 day. It was 1 day, 1 or 2 days. Yeah.
So do you guys think that other miners out there kind of re-engineered it, or were able to kind of lift things up and look underneath the curtain there to see it, or how do you think it kind of went wild? Because I mean, it was if you go back maybe a few weeks before that, most miners, I know like Seb Heslow did an interview with the guys over at LOL Miner, and they were talking about like how 85% was really that ceiling, that like it wasn't realistic to break that barrier because of the way that it was developed. And then bam, a few weeks later, all of a sudden, NiceHash 100% unlocked. Like I remember waking up to an email and I was like, whoa, where did this come from?
Yeah. It was our developer was working on it for some time. I'm not sure what others guys did.
Okay, sure.
Maybe they did reverse engineer it a little bit. Maybe they haven't. I cannot tell it for sure. I don't know what they are doing. Yeah.
Good to know. So some time ago, NVIDIA kind of was hacked and a lot of the proprietary data was leaked into the public. Did any of that data help that it sounds like you guys had a dedicated developer on kind of improvements on the LHR, which at the end of the day improves your product. Did that help solve some of that puzzle for him or fast track it at all?
No.
The
discovery he did was not related to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Absolutely. Our developer on Excavator is really good. So he managed to do it.
That's incredible. So when this dropped, I noticed your site had some struggles, which is a good thing. Like traffic, really hammering it. What type of traffic or uptick did you guys see within that time period? Because I know NiceHash was the talk of the town. Everybody was testing it out. Everybody was running it. Do you have any numbers like, hey, we were up 10% or 20% or what did that look like versus a normal time period?
I think we got... Oh, okay, Joe, go ahead.
The first few hours of the release of this, we got an extra 28,000 miners hooked up. So, I mean, it was a big jump within the same day, literally, to see the difference. But we have around about 1 million miners mining with us at that time.
Okay. So traditionally, then your average is give or take about 1 million miners total, and that's more rigs miners versus like an actual person. And then so this gave you a decent jump, 28-ish, 30,000 miners in addition that jumped over to it. Which is crazy.
I think that we would have a lot of more miners if if another developer wouldn't publish the new release so soon. Like I said, it was a day or two, and people probably didn't even hear about the news from us. They might have heard it like that the other guy has it too. So and unfortunately, we didn't have a Linux release.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and a lot of miners are on Linux, and that's probably one.
It's kind of one of those things you look back on because it's like, man, like, you want to be first to market. That's always like the big one. So it's like, get it out there. And now it's like, because I think, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think NB Miner was very quick after the NiceHash.
Like a day or two,
Yeah, and then there was like LOL and T-Rex Miner all jumped in, and they weren't perfect. They weren't very polished. They were doing the job. I mean, me specifically, I am completely on HiveOS on the Linux side of things, running it. But there were a few rigs that I was like, all right, we're turning up NiceHash on. So I totally understand, especially from the Windows side of things.
I mean, we did anticipate this, but we wanted to go out first because we actually had the partial unlock back like 1 year ago. I think we had it first or second, but due to some issues, we weren't able to publish it. And we lost some of that competitive advantage. And this time we wanted to go out as soon as possible. And based on the results, on what happened later, it was a good decision because other miners had it in the pipeline also. So it was just a matter of time.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. I mean, at the end of the day, that's how you guys are making profit is, being the most used miner and getting that percentage in there. So like every miner is just kind of fighting over how, who can release what. All of a sudden, LOL miner releases, 85%. A huge amount of traffic goes over there, and then somebody else a little more. And so it's a game. It's constantly a game.
Yeah, but it's different because on HiveOS, it takes like a couple of clicks and you change the miner. You just edit the flight sheet and you're done. You're done. Yeah. But when it comes to switching from iOS to Windows, that takes a whole day for a couple of rigs, probably. So
it definitely is. I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting as we approach Ethereum's proof of stake and kind of what that looks like when it comes down to profit switching. That's a big one, and that's where it's the Windows versus the HiveOS, the Linux side of things is going to be a challenge because manually doing it, or are you just letting NiceHash kind of take the wheel and run with it?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we're also working on, having a good Linux support. So I expect you will be mining on NiceHash with Linux also, because the product is going to be really great. It's going to feature like very fancy overclock controls. So once that comes out, I think a lot of people are going to switch to NiceHash. It's free. It's going to be free. I mean, NiceHash OS is free. You don't have to pay for monthly fee.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. So one more question on LHR, then I want to talk a little more about Ethereum, proof of stake with you guys. So NVIDIA quickly, of course, released another driver update, to try to reinforce their LHR again. Based off your research, how exactly do you know that they're is there any difference from your knowledge? I know you have a developer dedicated to it, but is there any real difference between like how NVIDIA is trying to approach LHR now versus what you guys kind of cracked?
As far as I know, they disabled a function, something that user developer could access. So with the newest drivers, they disable that, and that makes it harder to unlock it.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
good to know.
That's like short answer.
No, it's fine. In my eyes, I'm like, come on, NVIDIA, just give up on it. Like,
I mean,
come on.
They probably want to boost their GPU, their mining GPU sales. They must have like a valid reason to try so hard to block it. I mean, on the other hand, the driver fix they did probably didn't take them so much time.
Sure. It wasn't a ton of time invested. Yeah, I'll be curious on the 4000 series and kind of what the LHR approach is there. Now, granted, with limited amount of time, is it worth it from an overhead labor perspective? I totally understand.
I just hope they won't be deleting the old drivers from their website. So to miners using
hold on to this.
To miners that are using LHR cards, download those drivers, save them to USB and put them in safe.
Yeah, that is the nice thing. Like I know on HiveOS, you can kind of swap which drivers you want, so you have the driver catalog, which is great. And I know on Windows, like I nabbed up that developer driver a long time ago and have it saved on a Google Drive, just kind of hanging out there, just in case we ever need it. So jumping ahead, let's talk about Ethereum and it's kind of its move to proof of stake. As I imagine your team has been following this very closely, as it does affect your business bottom line in that regard, especially with how things are looking. What do you guys think, from an August deadline? You think their team's going to reach it? And then how is NiceHash kind of preparing for that different landscape?
Joe, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, deadlines on Ethereum too is sounds like the beginning of a punchline.
Yep, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, NiceHash has been preparing for this for quite some time. We've obviously well aware of it and following very closely what's happening with it. My personal opinion is that it's definitely not going to happen in August. Maybe not even this year. That's my opinion.
I'll take it.
Obviously, we prepare for it to happen sooner than that. Maybe September, maybe October. Okay. Who knows? But I think they have some real challenges right now because they have kind of one side of their team who is like doing the core of the development, who's like, guys, we need to test this a bit more. It's a bit more complicated than that. And on the other side, you got people pushing for it. Come on, we need to get this out. It's been delayed so much already. Just go with it.
Yep.
And I think they're the real like tipping point where if they rush it, it's going to be a disaster.
Yep.
And I think they'll either have to delay it again, or if they rush it, something not good is going to happen from it, I think.
I'm not sure if you watched Bitsby Tripping. He posted a good video regarding concerns.
All the time.
If he posted a video, he posted a video about concerns of testing the DApps on the platform. Yeah, if one of these things goes south, Ethereum will probably break. There's actually a risk involving having any Ethereum, and I think that the developers and stakeholders are like pushing against each other. That's like a recipe for disaster. Yeah, it's better to be triple checked than once not enough.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, it's one of the challenges that you can hear just in those meetings. I enjoy listening to them, even though they're super dry. It's interesting to see kind of where they are. And Joe's right. Like you have the people that are very concerned that are pushing testing, and then the other people that are just pushing to the finish line. Like, let's get there and let's say it's done. The downside is you get to the finish line, but now half your DApps aren't working, and now the value of Ethereum sinks, to the floor because it breaks everything, and now your investors aren't happy and they're losing money. So it's definitely going to be interesting. So it's really based off of you guys explaining too, kind of some of how NiceHash works with the algorithm switching component, where it's not just driven by like what's most profitable, it's coming down to what the buyers are demanding or requesting, is really interesting. So once Ethereum goes to proof of stake and Ethereum's not one of those options, it's going to be very curious, because like NiceHash is going to be on this side where that demand is still going to be there for all these other algorithms. So there might be a little more stability in what that's looking like on the NiceHash side of things, because at the end of the day, you're getting paid out in Bitcoin. And then on the flip side, on a more nitty gritty miner, you're on Hive OS now or Windows, and you're just changing your miner based off of what to mine is telling you is the most profitable. So it's and that's totally different worlds entirely. And I didn't even realize it, digging deeper into NiceHash and learning about it today, was like that the profitability on NiceHash's side is purely based off of demand from the buyer, not off of the market, which makes it significantly different. I think it's going to put you guys ahead when it comes down to proof of stake.
You have miners who are also like speculatively mining. So they might be mining something when it's really not profitable at all. Based on later that price going up. So you have this factor, which is a really big one when it comes to NiceHash.
Yeah. I mean, buyers on NiceHash are quite can be gamblers, They are
gamblers.
I mean, they are willing to pay more for the hash rate. Imagine a pool can buy hash rate off of us to get higher hash rate, to attract more miners and start up their pool. There's like a bunch of different options how you can use hash rate from NiceHash for your own good. It's not like we actually track like what's the difference between the most profitable coin and NiceHash on what to mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have data and we compare it, and basically a lot of algorithms are even more profitable than the ones on what to mine.
That are out there, but you don't know about it because it's not visible.
Flux is more profitable on NiceHash, Flux mining, than mining directly. I don't know what the buyers do, but mining on NiceHash is more profitable than mining on.
So here's what I need from the NiceHash team. I need a what to mine NiceHash hybrid that shows almost like a stock ticker, real-time profitability side by side to sell NiceHash more. That would be awesome. From a miner's perspective, if you showed me a almost stock ticker layout that was like what to mine and NiceHash, that would be amazing to see. Because like learning it from you guys is awesome. It's like, wow, I did not know that. But it's like, what to mine is like the Bible for miners right now. Like we go to that's the Bible. And NiceHash is on there. Like NiceHash's algorithms are on there and stuff like that. But man, you want to keep me on NiceHash's website? Give me the Bible 2.0 for miners. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to say something, but I forgot regarding the
we were talking. That's why we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about miners and the buying and more profitability on NiceHash's side versus like what to mine.
Actually, the NiceHash will solve a lot of problems regarding switching coins. Imagine switching between 3 or 4 coins. You will have 3 or 4 pools. You will have 3 or 4 different wallets. Then you will have to exchange everything. Like some dust will be left on the pools because you want to reach the payout.
The threshold.
Yeah, the threshold. So there's going to be a lot of issues mining directly. If you're familiar with paper share and paper last name number of shares, so there's that. If pools are mostly using paper last number of shares, and basically as a miner, if you disconnect too soon, you lose.
You lose out. You don't. That's something people don't realize when you're profit switching. Like the day of proof of stake, you're profit switching left and right type of deal. It's like you don't get paid out on that half of what that threshold is until you reach it. So now it sits on the pool. So that totally makes sense. Hey, you want to rock my world? Have a module built into Hive OS that does all of this for us. That would be amazing.
What if we had a better mining OS than Hive OS?
As long as I would be all for it, as long as it gave you the same functionality. I mean, I guess the challenge is like NiceHash very much is, you're paid out in Bitcoin. That's like through and through. I think the challenge is from your traditional hobbyist miners out there is there's value in having other coins. So like you're having different payout options. Now, granted, Bitcoin's always the giant one because it's like we all know, like right now, like Bitcoin's low, so it's like fantastic. I mean, most of my rigs are Ethereum to Bitcoin, same thing with where you guys are at because of the fact of spec mining that Bitcoin will go up, which we all believe it will. So yeah, I think you guys are on the right track. Trust me, I think you guys are definitely on the right track.
Another thing I wanted to say about our software is that if you're mining directly, you spend a lot of time tweaking, changing algorithms. Like you spend a lot of time.
Overclocks, yep.
Yeah, and NiceHash saves time, and time is money. So if you would spend flipping burgers instead of tweaking rigs, you would probably earn more. I mean, the fees that could be lower on NiceHash, I mean, the profits could, if they are, you could earn more flipping burgers instead of tweaking the rigs on pools. Yeah.
That's very true. So let's wrap things up with one last question here, entirely speculative, but I imagine that NiceHash has had a boatload of meetings as it directly affects your business model. What do you guys feel the future of GPU mining will look like come Ethereum merge? I mean, a lot of people are saying it's the end of mining entirely, which of course would very much affect your business model in that regard. And I imagine this has been the talk of the town over the last several months. I mean, granted, you can impulsively be like, like Joe, like, oh no, it's not happening this year. It'll get bumped, no big deal. But what are your thoughts on the future of GPU mining minus Ethereum?
I mean, most likely profitability is going to drop because it's a huge chunk of the GPU market share for sure. So that's an inevitability. However, is mining going to stop? No, definitely not. I mean, that would be ridiculous to assume that. There's tons of other projects out there. There's tons of other algorithms who are just waiting for that hash rate to come and boost their projects. So I think, for some time it's going to be not profitable for sure. But we've seen that before in mining. It's nothing new to the industry. It goes up and down, and then it will kind of even out the playing field. So you have all these other algorithms there's not such a gap in profitability for some time. And then gradually, some of those projects are going to gather momentum. They're going to pick up profitability and momentum, and it's going to become more profitable again after some time. How long that takes, that's anybody's guess. But I imagine that's what we would see happening.
Yeah, I've been mining for almost 10 years now. And I can tell you that there's been always these spikes. And I sold my rigs probably 4 times. So I bought everything, profitability went to, there was a bear market, I sold everything, and in a couple of months I was buying things back again. I did that mistake, don't do that mistake again. The prices of GPUs are gonna fall. If you don't need that money, try to save the GPUs for later, because sooner or later another project is probably gonna emerge that's gonna be profitable. I mean, Flux coin is a good project. That I see a lot of good things there. It could become really profitable, as well as Ergo or Cowpo. Evenly, those are all like algorithms that have some potential, and maybe even some projects that are down the line that we don't know of yet.
Yeah, it's very curious to see if we have any breakout coins that all of a sudden come to light over the next few months here that really surprise us, that are trying to take the place of Ethereum when it comes down to that. I mean, I think as a miner, we instantly go to like, all right, what's the most efficient or what's the most profitable for me? And the challenge is like all of that is up in the air. We really don't know. As I like to tell people, when Ethereum's proof of stake hits, it's going to be the Wild West. Up and down all over the place because nobody knows. Like, it's not like you could compare this to anything. We've never experienced this before, where a major coin in the proof of work space just all of a sudden is there one day and gone the next.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can imagine how many Ethereums are getting distributed today to the miners. And all of a sudden that's gonna stop. So there will only be the the coins that are like the altcoins, let's say.
Yeah.
And the profitability is gonna drop down like crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I'm excited for it. I mean, for me, it's a hobby still, so I'm excited for it. It's going to be an exciting time the day that this occurs. It's going to be the biggest thing that's occurred within my content creation career in the last 2 years. It's just being able to experience that. So it's going to be nuts. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be selling off, just as you had said, just due to profitability, which is entirely understandable. But if you can financially hold on to your graphics cards, hold on to your rigs, mine through, yield as much as you can, I think people will come out the other side, which will be awesome. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. So let's go ahead and wrap things up for today. I appreciate both of you guys joining me. I want to give people the opportunity to kind of follow along. Is there any social media that you guys have that you'd love to see people check you out on and follow you on, or hit you up with additional questions?
Yeah, you can find us on pretty much every social media. We're on all the big ones: Reddit, Discord. We have big communities there, and then you've got our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All the rest is all there as well.
All for NiceHash. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me today for this video, finding out more and more about NiceHash and the LHR unlock. Those of you guys that enjoyed the video, if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below, or comments based off of some of the discussion points that we did talk about today. If you enjoyed the video and enjoyed having Marco and Joe on, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And finally, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.